Ciao guys, and welcome to the last episode of building a model ship from scratch, the Fifie. It was a great journey for me. I love how this came out, and although it's an RC model, I think I managed to keep all the details that you usually have in a static version. And this, I would say, it was also a personal challenge because I couldn't understand why you see all those RC ships that very rarely are made out of wood. They are usually made of plastic, and they tend not to maintain all the details you see in static models. So overall, I'm happy with the final result. I think I managed to achieve a good compromise in that sense. So at the end of the day, the things I modified the most, I think, are the hooks that allows you to remove the central part of the model to access the electronics. If you're just starting building your first model ship from scratch, I believe the Fifie is great. It's not too challenging. There are not so many details like a huge galleon, for example. It's still a big ship, but you won't be working on the same stuff like 40 cannons or 6 sails, 3 masts, and so on and so forth. I would say it's not a boring job you are going to do. You will always have something different to do, right? There is a little bit of everything, and you can learn a lot. You have sails making, you have soldering, you have metal parts, you have blocks, you have a hull that is not that challenging because there are not so many curvatures, and I think it's great for these reasons. As I was saying, the hull is pretty straightforward. There are no steep curvatures that might be challenging in other models. Here the planks in stern and bow and basically straight, so there is no need of giving a particular shape to the strip. I made 2 layers of planking using lime wood for this model, and then I covered everything in naval resin to make the whole structure water resistant. The rigging is pretty easy. You just have to rig 2 masts. In the setup I chose, one is laying on the wheelhouse and it's not fully rigged, so I guess that's 1.5 mast. If you're building the radio control version as I did, you must make some adjustments to be able to access the electronics. The Amati Fifie is not a small boat. It measures 70 centimeters. And for a model this big, you're gonna need some space. Be sure to build also a resistance stand because in the setup I did, the boat is pretty heavy. I did not weight mine yet, but I assure you it's not that light. If you're scratch building this, you're gonna need some machineries because some parts are not that easy to make, like for example metal parts. Excluding the saw for cutting the wood, you're gonna need at least the MF70, a sanding machine, and a drill press. The Bosch PBD40 was essential, I think, when making all the mast fittings, for example. Those are just small pieces that need the proper tool, and I'm not saying you cannot make it in other way, but it's gonna be a little bit harder. In fact, I think that if you don't have those tools, you might find also some compromises, and it's fine as well. If you're not planning to install fixed lights or remote control lights, then you're gonna need just 6 basic electronics for every RC model ship. The most complete things here are the autonomous pump, which I programmed with a programmable card. I leave you the link somewhere here. And yeah, those are not essential, so if you don't want to do it, you can decide not to do it. I think it's very useful. Since it's my first RC ship, I really care about it, so it's like an assurance for me. Anyway, both fixed and remote control lights are doable. Also, the autonomous pump is doable. I explained all the steps you need to follow in some of my videos. You will find them somewhere here, and just go check them out. In general, I think the hardest thing to do here, and I think it's a general rule for all scratch built model, is that you're gonna build everything by yourself. So you need to know how to work with different materials. For example, wood. I used at least 3 types of wood. Then you need to know how to work metal. Then you need to know how to sew a sail properly. So are very different kind of works you need to learn, and I think also you can learn them by doing, by making mistakes, and that's pretty fine. Every model was there when I first started building a model ship. So don't be discouraged and keep trying until you make it. I think this is the perfect model for scratch building, even if you don't have all the proper tools. If you want to buy the tools, and that's fine, you don't need to buy them all at once. You can consider buying them whenever you need them, because I understand also when I first started, I didn't know what a milling machine was used for. So now I think it's one of the most essential tools out there. It took me almost a year to finish it, and at the beginning I didn't have all the proper tools. I hope you enjoyed this series. You can find the link to the whole playlist in the description section. If you liked it, press the like button, leave a comment in the comment section below. I love reading all your comments, I love to reply to them, so feel free to do that. For now, thank you, and I will see you in the next video.